Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to talk about some cards that have been officially revealed from Paradox Rift. And not to put too fine a point on it, but these are a very big deal, ladies and gentlemen. A very big deal indeed. And I think it's probably fair to say that there is no card in the set, at least from the outset. And we haven't seen every card in the set, even in Japanese, let's be clear. But it looks like there is no bigger card in the set than Iron Hands. Iron Hands has, well, I think the nice way to put it is, ignited some debate amongst the Pokemon TCG community since we first got a glimpse at it. This is a card that looks absolutely huge, and maybe it will completely ruin the game, and maybe we're all just exaggerating. But now we can see the official English scan. We got 230 HP, we got a weakness to fighting, we got free energy, arm press 160, nobody cares. But then we have the wonderfully named Amp You Very Much. 4 energy, 120 damage. If your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out by damage from this attack, take an extra prize card. And we don't need to think about whether this is going to be good or not. Taking extra prizes is always good. Obviously, Arceus, Alga, and Palkia, it wasn't just taking the extra prizes, you also did the extra damage, blah, 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 blah. And it had a weakness which just nobody was hitting at the time. But ADP took extra prizes, and that was absolutely gigantic. This may or may not end up being as big as that. That is the level we're talking here. This is a very, very important card. And look, it's a lightning Pokemon, so straight off the bat, we don't need anything else. We've got ourselves Electric Generator, which is an item card, and then we've got ourselves Flaffy, which can essentially recharge it every turn as a Stage 1 Pokemon. So without doing anything else, we've got energy acceleration here. And maybe they'll be good enough, maybe they won't, but remember, Miraidon is a very good deck right now. It is one of the very, very, very best decks in the format. It's good enough for Miraidon. And of course, don't forget that Miraidon itself has the ability which lets you search for your basic lightning Pokemon. And of course, as we've seen a million times, you can search for 2 lightning Pokemon, one of which is Miraidon, and then go and search for another 2 and basically chain them till your bench is full. It's absurdly good. And we've got Electric Generator, and the combination of Electric Generator and Flaffy has proven to be good enough for Lightning decks. And Miraidon is one of the very, very best decks in the game right now with that combination. And if nothing else, and I don't believe it's nothing else to be clear, but even if there's nothing else, Iron Hand is just going to slip very nicely into Miraidon decks. You're already playing Miraidon to go and grab it. You're already playing Electric Generator and Flaffy to go and get the energy on and keep getting the energy on. With nothing else, you whack this into Miraidon and it's great. But we can keep going, ladies and gentlemen. We can absolutely keep going. Because what about Baxcalibur? Now, I know that this, at first glance might not fit that neatly into a Baxcalibur deck. But actually, one of the big things about Iron Hands, and this is a very, very big thing, it is 1 lightning energy and then 3 colorless. So you can just straight away whack 1 lightning energy on, and then Baxcalibur can get the other 3, and then all of a sudden Iron Hands fits beautifully into a Baxcalibur deck, as an example. Or you could play it in Lost Zone decks, because you're going to be using Mirage Gate to accelerate energy anyway. So as long as you're playing some lightning energy, and to be fair, a lot of Lost Zone decks at the moment play Dragonite, for which you will be playing some lightning energy, and then all of a sudden you can just play this in Lost Zone decks as well. Any deck that plays any kind of energy acceleration, as long as they are willing to play a couple of lightning energy, can put this in as like a 1 or 2 card deck, and all of a sudden you're rolling. And the fact of the matter is, 120 is a good number. 120 will get the majority of single prize Pokemon. It will get support Pokemon like Comfey. It'll get evolving basics and evolving stage 1s. And then you're hitting for weakness. This will get a Lugia V, for instance. This will get Squawkabilly, for instance. There is a lot of different Pokemon you're going to be able to get here just from this one Pokemon. And the energy is really not a problem. If it was 4 lightning energy, it would go in Miraidon decks, and that would basically be it. It would be stuck in those Miraidon decks, or Miraidon decks that were retooled to be Iron Hands decks. That would be all it would work in. But that's not where we are here. And now you're going against these decks, and you're hitting these support Pokemon, and you're hitting these evolving Pokemon, but you're taking 2 prizes for doing so. And with cards like Electric Generator, yes, you can get this rolling quickly. You can even use this with double turbo energy, and sure, it knocks you down from 120 damage to 100, but actually 100 will still get those support Pokemon and those evolving Pokemon anyway. This is not just a good card. That is massively underselling it. This is potentially a problem. In the same way that ADP was a problem, this could be a problem. This could genuinely just ruin deck creativity moving forward. This could be the reason that multiple decks that should work don't work. And that's actually genuinely a bit of a problem. Keep an eye on this one, ladies and gentlemen. Some of you are going to play this card and love it. Some of you are going to hate this card. Some of you are going to play this card and be actively, genuinely sad about it because you don't want to play it. And others of you are going to be trying to build other decks, and this card is going to be ruining everything you try and build. You have been warned. But because that card has such a fun name, people started talking about how much of a fun name it was. And then Pokemon came back with Mousehold EX. If you like Dampu very much, you might also like Nom 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 Incisors. Yes, we might like Nom 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 Incisors because that's a cool attack name. But we have seen it before. For the side note, anyone want to just guess it quickly before I tell you? Greedent V! And obviously I'm going to show you the alternate art of Greedent V because it's one of my favourite alternate arts Pokemon has done in a long time. It's amazing! It's beautiful. It's lovely. I adore it. Etc. Fusion Strike is known as a giant set with not that many good cards in terms of value. For me, it's a set that brought us this Greedent V. And to be fair, it's a very similar kind of attack. Greedent was 3 energy, 120, draw 3 cards. This is 2 energy, 120, draw 2 cards. So it's 1 energy cheaper. Yay! But you only draw 2 cards. Boo! And it is actually a stage 1, which is very, very relevant. I do kind of like Mousehold. Now, the attack is alright, but I think it's actually the ability that turns it into a really interesting card. And we now do have, like I say, we got the official English scan, so that means we got the official English text knowing exactly what it does. If this Pokemon is in your active spot, and is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, even if it's knocked out, put 3 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon for each of your Tandemaus, Mousehold, and Mousehold EX in play. If you've got a full bench of Mousehold stuff, that is 180 damage. That's absurd, ladies and gentlemen. And then Nom Nom Incisors comes in and does, 120, but even with double turbo, it's 100. Add the 180 is 280. That's all Pokemon V size, basically everything except for V Max and Stage 2 EXs. That's really good. But a lot of the time you'll kind of give up 2 prizes and then come in with the next one doing Nom Nom Incisors, and the prize race gets kind of skewed. I'm worried about this one, honestly, but I really, 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 really want it to be good. So I am absolutely crossing my fingers. Don't forget, of course, we've got the Mousehold from Scarlet and Violet that for 2 energy does 70 for each of your Mousehold in play. Does not include Mousehold EX, because Mousehold and Mousehold EX are different Pokemon names. That's why the ability on Mousehold EX specifically says Tandemaus, Mousehold, and Mousehold EX, because they are different names, so this does not count Mousehold EX, only Mousehold. And then similarly, we've got Gnaw Relentlessly. Yeah, some of the Mousehold attack names are brilliant. Pretty much all, to be honest with you. And this is the one that puts 1 damage counter on each of your opponent's Pokemon for each of your Mousehold in play. So potentially 4 damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon, which is brilliant. So yeah, there's a lot to love about Mousehold. I worry that the 230 HP, which is by 20 HP, the lowest we've seen on a Stage 1 EX. Boo! I worry that's too low. And I worry that the ability's great, but you're often just literally giving up 2 prizes while using the ability, and that's going to skew the prize rate. There are things I'm worried about here, but I also think it's adorable and wonderful and lovely and nom 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 in sizes, and I want to use it, ladies and gentlemen. I want to use it. And then, of course, people started going with this and go, well, hang on a second. What else can we get out of them? And the lovely Matthew arrived. You've heard me talk about immunity a few times on this channel, because Matthew is brilliant. If we keep saying we like the names, will the full set be revealed? The answer, unfortunately, was no. We're not going to get the full set. However, best I can do today is Frostlass EX featuring Evanescent. And not to just read tweets at you, but Matthew then responded, "Wake me up inside." We all know the song reference, ladies and gentlemen. And who should then pop up? Pokemon Sleep. We all get the song reference. As for this card, there is a reason. Well, to be fair, we followed the story along. But also, there is a reason this one is last. It is the least interesting of the ones we've looked at here. To be fair, I do actually still kind of like this. I still think this is a pretty cool Pokemon. Because, I mean, look, 2 Water Energy, Frost Bullet, 140 plus 20 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. It's fine. But for a 2-prize Pokemon, it's a little bit low damage-wise for me. But this might not be a 2-prize Pokemon. Because the aforementioned ability, Evanescent, if this Pokemon is in your active spot and is knocked out, flip a coin. If heads, your opponent takes 1 fewer prize card. Shout out to Pokemon and the translation team for saying fewer, not less. There are way too many card games where I see them saying less when they mean fewer. And I care about this maybe more than I should. But I love that they've got it right, because not every card game does. And also, it is, however, it's knocked out. It's not knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack. It is knocked out. So whether that's from an ability or from damage counters being dropped, obviously not special conditions like Burn, Poison, Confusion, because they happen in Pokemon Checkup. They don't actually happen during your turn, which is a little bit sad, because then it doesn't work. But hey ho, ladies and gentlemen, this is kind of cool. And look, if you flip heads, then this is a really good single prize Pokemon. 250 HP and 2 energy, 140 plus 20 to one of your opponent's bench on a single prize Pokemon is nuts. On a 2-prize Pokemon, it's a little disappointing. So, I mean, look, can you flip heads? If you can flip heads, it's awesome. If you can't, less good. Right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I promised you some important reveals. I think I have delivered, but now it's over to you guys. Tell me which of these cards you like. Tell me which of these you're excited about. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Tell me if you think that Iron Hands is going to be a problem. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shoutouts on the channel like the lovely Uriel Rojas, who is our newest patron and seems to be a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.